My new rear tyre had a worrying bald spot. It could be a number of things, an unbalanced rim being my first deduction. There would be nowhere on my next leg of travel, one of the most fabled in Australia, where I'd be able to replace it. Not sure what happens when a tyre gets bald. Will it slide? Will it blow out? All I knew is that it wasn't the best place to happen, just before embarking on the epic Nullarbor. The Nullarbor is 1,200 kilometres of nothing but desert. It means treeless plain in Latin, or in Aboriginal, Undiri, the waterless. The average rainfall is 20 centimetres per year, and it covers an area nearly as big as my home state of Victoria. Its limestone base used to be the seabed 25 million years ago, and the roads out here are dead straight to the horizon, the landscape monotonous and eternal. I pass my first road train, a 2-carriage truck lugging supplies across a vast expanse. I take a line a little too close for comfort, feeling the pull of the slipstream sucking me towards 24 wheels of rolling death. Lesson learnt: take a wide berth on the next pass and tuck in tight to avoid the turbulence. I pull over for a dingo's breakfast, a piss and a look round. I'm instantly harassed by sandflies biting my bare flesh. I take off my hydration pack to check the map as my phone didn't have service out here. Distracted by the flies, I put my helmet back on for protection and forget to put the hydration backpack back on. I take off down the road, not realising for a few kilometres that it wasn't on my back. I turn back expecting to find it where I took it off, but no, it was not there. I started retracing my tracks, expecting to find it on the side of the road. I then notice a strap of my head torch on the middle of the road. I pull over and then see the backpack hanging precariously close to my chain and back wheel, the plastic bladder shredded by my rear sprocket. Oh boy, that could have been disastrous. The backpack tangling up in my back wheel at highway speeds and seizing up the back wheel. The desert seems to have a way of getting rid of the superfluous. I never liked that pack anyway. Could never use it with my helmet on. I pull into the head of the Bight Visitors Centre. The coastline here rises dramatically out of the ocean, forming magnificent cliffs with 60-metre drops. They wanted $7 entrance fee, and that seemed all too sterile for me, so a little up the road I find a dirt track heading straight to the edge of the continent. To stand there on the edge of the drop, hearing the waves smashing the rocks below, to be close enough to feel the fear, that was my Bight experience. The more I travel, the more I realise that to experience nature's majesty doesn't always require an entrance fee or epic photo opportunity. It usually happens when one is alone with no distractions. One would think that riding the Nullarbor is a bore, an endurance in which the reward is to finish. But one morning I found myself at peace in this barren space. There is a simplicity in this landscape, a purity, a silence. It's a bit like motorcycle travel. You need to get rid of the unnecessary to only have what is needed. I wanted my life to be like this landscape, simplified. I don't want a lot of noise. I want to find a purity. You see a lot of roadkill on these unfenced roads. I saw roos, a young cow, a huge goanna, and at least 3 wedge-tailed eagles. The wedge-tails are our biggest bird of prey. They fly down to feed on carrion, and with a wingspan of nearly 3 metres, take a bit of time to take off. This is when they get taken out by fast-moving transport. Why does it sadden me to see such a majestic bird struck down, and yet feel nothing for the numerous kangaroos? Maybe it is the scarcity of which one sees these mighty hunters. All along the Nullarbor, from Cactus on, I kept running into these 2 girls on an epic road trip to Kalgoorlie. They'd packed everything they owned in their little red car to take up jobs in the mining industry. They were watching out for me, aware I had tyre problems. There is something refreshing about meeting people about to embark on a new life. All that excitement and trepidation, they really had just shoved everything into that little car. Sometimes that's the best way to do things. Just hit the road, work things out as you go. I was about to hit Australia's longest stretch of road, 146.6 kilometres of gun barrel straight highway, and in a strange twist of fate, the heavens decided to open up. You realise that after about 2 hours of riding in constant rain, nothing is waterproof. The moisture just starts to soak in. I feel a wetness run down the front zip of my leather jacket, wetting my chest and trickling down my front, forming into a moist cold puddle at my crutch. My boots become buckets, my gloves become sponges, and all the while I'm trying to see the road through a fogged up, droplet covered visa, hoping my bald tyre doesn't lose traction, or a kangaroo, camel or cow doesn't decide to mosey onto the road to drink from the puddles. This is not fun, it's downright unpleasant and dangerous. But it's in these moments that I become aware that I can handle this, and this is a nice place to be in. To realise that all your fears, hitting an animal, losing control, having a tyre blowout, no matter what, I can handle it. The rain in the desert made a desert of my mind, freeing me of unfounded fears and making me aware of my own strengths and capabilities. And in the end, that is the best one can hope of any journey, to learn more of oneself.